Hi, I'm Steve Rajeff. Welcome to the world of offshore saltwater fly fishing. It's an exciting place. Stay with us. Okay, we're aboard the Master Plan, a 35-foot custom sport fisherman. Captain is Bob Ray up there, working on his gear. We're getting ready to go offshore, off of Padre Island in South Texas, and let's take a look at some of the flies we're looking at. This is a leader stretcher. What it does is pre-stretches all the heavy shock tippets. A lot of the fish out there have enough teeth and abrasion that we want to use a heavy leader shock right next to the fly. These leaders are real heavy, and off of the coiled spools they'll have the memory coils. This heavy rubber band that the flies hook on to pre-stretch all those shock tippets to make them nice and straight. If the coils were attached still to the fly would spiral and not look natural coming through the water. So these stretchers really help us to have the leaders all organized. We've got all the tippets coiled up and all set to go. Some of these flies are tied by one of our favorites out west is Dan Blanton. He's got some whistler patterns with the chain eyes on them. This helps to weight him down, and got some barring feathers in here. One's a sarlmomac, a combination of sardine and a mackerel pattern, very effective. Bob Vervecki up from Vermont, he's got some soft marabou on some of his flies right here. And the combination of that marabou and the feathers really breathes well through the water. Bob LeMay is real good with some of his epoxies and also some of the shinier woven mylar bodies. This is one of his with the combination of blue and green on it. These are very effective patterns offshore, and this leader stretcher helps to keep them arranged and the shock tippets nice and straight. The squid pattern here is very effective. Almost anything in the sea will eat a squid. Hey, Cap.
Steve, you about ready to head on out?
Yeah, I'm just getting my stuff put away.
All right.
Have you had much luck with the fly guys out there?
Yeah, we've been doing pretty good. You know, you got a chance for dolphin, bonita, kingfish, maybe a cobia. There's been a couple sailfish caught.
Cool.
You just don't know, you know, so why don't we head on out there? Maybe we'll get lucky and catch a couple.
Let's do it.
All right, let's go.
I think those could probably just stay right over here. Right there now. That's good. I'm just replacing the butt section of my leader. I tied my nail knot to the tip of the fly line to attach the leader butt, and I'm just constructing the rest of my leader. About 3 feet of heavy butt section, about 1.5 feet of a drop down section or a tapering section of about 20. And now I'm going to be tying on a class tippet, my leader section that'll have the test that I want to fish with. In this case, I want to go with 15. It needs to be at least 12 inches long to be an official record if we were looking for a record, but at least 15 inches of the class tippet. So now I'll put on, here's my 15-pound test. And because we have a good shot at some king mackerel right now, after the 15-pound test of about nearly 2 feet long, I'll tie on a piece of wire leader. The wire leader is necessary because the teeth of these fish are so sharp, they'll cut right through nylon. So we'll attach a piece of wire here in just a second. There's two popular kinds of wire. A single strand hard wire. Single strand hard wire like this one here is the thinnest, but it's a little more difficult to work with. There's other multi-strand wires that are plastic coated. They knot a little easier, but I'm going to try to use the single strand. The shorter the piece of wire that you can use, the better off you are. Starting out with just folding over the wire to make a little loop, and we're going to do a knot that's called an Albright, and the Albright feeds between the folded over wire, wraps around the wire, and tucks in at the end of the loop of the wire, and that'll lock down nicely and is a good way to attach wire to monofilament. I got one of my little darts. It's a mylar tubing, and I glue on some eyeballs, color the back a little dark. Looks like a little candlefish or a needlefish. So I'm going to give this fly a try. We got a big school of bait here. The birds are diving on them, and the bonita are crashing through it. If I can just get my cast over into that school, should be a hookup right away. Wow, this is incredible. Look at them boiling on the water. Oh, had to hit it. Come on back. Splashing on my fly. Come on. Yeah. A bigger one came in with the school of the small ones. Wow, these things are so strong. All right, this fish has just sounded, and I'm just trying to work him up, a little pump at a time, a lift, and wind down quick. I got to look at him now. Oh, nice fish. Bonita about 8-10 pounds. About 8. All right, getting to the point where you need to back off and reach for your leader. Well, he's not done yet. Ah, he tailed me. The tail came up on the leader and he popped me off. Wow, what a fight. Those things are so powerful. There's nothing in fresh water that can pull as hard as these bonita. Incredible. There's so many bait out there. Just one fly and all of that school of bait. It's just hard for them to pick it up all the time. Casting about 60, 70 feet as quickly as I can, and real fast short strips like these glass minnows are just trying to escape. Wow, the water's just boiling. Okay, fish on, fish on. All right, he liked it. Clear the line, he's on. Okay, woo! Super fast retrieve. 2 hands to work the fly across the surface, and he came after it finally. This rod is a nice casting rod, and I'm avoiding the chance of breaking it by putting my hand up high. If I put my hand up high, this creates a shear-off spot. If the rod does not come with a fighting grip on it, avoid putting your hand too high up on the rod. It can possibly break it under heavy strain. So I'm keeping my left hand, my lifting hand, right down on the handle, where I'm taking advantage of the stiffest part of the rod, the strongest part. If I put my hand too high, I use a skinnier part of the rod, less effective for fish fighting. These fish are so much stronger than fresh water. It's a dog-eat-dog world out here. You eat and survive or be eaten, and they gain their strength and power here. Grab the leader. Yes. Nice little bonita, little football shape. Their most hydrodynamically incredible design creature of the sea. They're just eating machines, feeding on those glass minnow. Yes! We've been working on these fish out here for a little while, and the seas are building. We're working in water 3 to 4 feet. It's nice to be in a larger boat for this sort of fishing in the choppier water, but if it was calm, you could be out here in your inshore skiff enjoying it. These fish are available to inshore fishermen who want to see this kind of fishing. If it does get a little rougher, we'd head in, but the only thing you need to be careful for is a sudden squall. Always be careful of the clouds and the wind conditions. If you're in a little skiff, be prepared to come on in. We're coming up on a buoy out here. Oftentimes these buoy harbor little bait fish, and it keeps schools of larger feeding fish in the area. Any obstacle, any structure, any sunken wreck, anything that can draw bait fish will harbor larger feeders. And so we're just scanning right now and checking it out. I'll make some casts out here next to the marker.
Yeah, there's a big treble tail up there, you might get it.
Ooh, I had one. All right, little guy. I got one. Eh, oh, dolphin, dolphin. Look at that guy jump. Holy moly. Nice little dolphin on here. Just this little structure.
Get the other fly rod out, guys.
Go ahead.
There's a whole bunch of them. Keep them working.
You got one right out here. That green thing will work. They're so colorful. The dolphin have the colors of the rainbow on them. A lot of green and yellow. I'm going to keep this one on my line for a while. Yeah. Look at the colors on these fish.
Like it fast, guys. Like it fast.
Yes, come on, baby. They're so colorful. One of the greatest eating fish you'll find. Wonderful on light tackle. Look at the colors. Incredible. Howard's into one, too. They're in here thick now. They're just lit up. They're as iridescent as you can imagine. Yeah, there he is. Okay. Come on over this way, Howard. I'll just go around you. Howard's got a nice little dolphin there. I'm working to get the fly removed. He swallowed it deeply. It's kind of amazing that these fish will eat such a small fly. Just the same flies that worked inshore, little streamers, little fly with green and white represents the glass minnows that these fish are feeding on. So that's all it takes, just a little bit of hair and sparkle, and you've got them. Yeah, another one. The power of these fish, any one of them in salt water, is remarkable compared to anything you'll find in fresh water. This is a very, oh, nice fish, nice jump. Right now we've been fishing in seas that are about 3 or 4 feet, and it's comfortable in a nice boat like this. We're in about a 35-foot boat, and it's good to be this size offshore a long way, but it's amazing. A skiff that you use to fish inshore waters can come out here on a calm day and enjoy this fishing like I am right now. So if you have a smaller boat and you do choose to come out, just be sure of your weather, watch your clouds. If it gets windy on you, head on in. But what a show. If you are in a little skiff, just keep a watchful eye and you'll have a blast. I have a strong leader on, about 12 or 15 pound test, and it's just as much as I want to do right now is put this much pressure on them. Almost. I came close to getting them that time. Right now I'm bouncing around enough, so I'm just going to hug the corner of this boat. I'm kneeling down, make it a little easier to land them.
There you go, good shot, good shot.
Look at this fish. Gorgeous colors. Bullnose dolphin. Right now we've got a bit of teamwork going on between Howard and myself. He hooks them, got a fish on. If I cast my fly near his, the other ones that are schooling with it want to grab my fly also. So when one guy has one on, it's soon to follow with the other one. So now he's going to release his while I keep mine on, and then he'll be back in business. What we're doing here is trolling a daisy chain of squid, trying to tease up some fish to then cast to with the fly rod. Parker, why don't you let this back there? How far do you like to go back? About 50, 60 feet?
That's a good area.
Yeah. Or 75 feet behind the boat, those things will skip along the surface and attract larger game fish up to the top so we can cast at them. Let's take a look at a couple of flies that maybe you didn't get a good look at the dock. This is a Dietrich baby dolphin. It's yellow and green, much like the colors of the dolphin you saw us catch, and it represents the dolphin that so many of the game fish out here feed on. This fly is about 6 inches long. That's fairly large, and you can certainly catch a lot of these fish on smaller ones like a green and white clouser. Green and white clouser's on a 4. This bigger dolphin fly here is on about a size 2.0. Even though we're out here in fathoms of water, the fish will pop the surface. You've seen the fish crashing on bait. You can oftentimes put a slider out there, a popper fly, that'll go right along the surface. This is a green one, again representative baby dolphin, and a lot of times the other glass minnows have that green tint to it. So this can be a very effective fly. A lot of fun to see the fish take it on surface. Yeah, hooked up. All right. We're fishing behind shrimp boats here. They're fishing all night for shrimp, and in the mornings they cull out their catch and keep the shrimp. The bycatch is tossed over, and that keeps all these different game fish around the boats. All we did was come in here with some chum, and right away we were into a nice-sized bonita. They're so fast. Look at that line ripping the water. I really like right-handed wine. I have more strength and endurance this way. That's my preference, but you have to decide for yourself which works best for you. Right-handed wine, I could crank for a long time and do a good job. This fish will go close to 10 pounds, and a 10-pound bonita is stronger than any 30-pound king salmon I've caught in my past guiding in Alaska. These things are so strong, it's amazing. Once in a while I reach up to guide the fish a little bit. I'm not powerfully lifting. When I want to powerfully lift, I bring my hands down lower, giving me more lifting strength right out of the handle area and the butt of the rod. We'll need to work them down real tired. Still putting a lot of heat on them here. I'm going to try to counter them, turn them over. What happens, the fish get so tired, but if you keep them swimming in the same direction, they don't tire so fast. So I'm turning his head as much as I can, flipping him over. If he swims one way, I'll turn his head the other way, working him a few times. And sooner we'll be able to get him up top. Okay. Once I lift them up, Parker, to the tail, you can tail them. Good man. Fast hands, Parker. Good job. 6'3" with the long reach. I'll tell you, it comes in handy landing these babies. Yeah, thank you. Nice job. I've been fishing these bonita with a little small piece of wire. They do have sharp teeth, but right now they're starting to refuse it. So I'm going to clip off the wire and go to a smaller gauge mono straight through for a good 2 to 3 feet to my tapered leader. The knot that I like to tie the fly on with is a improved clinch knot, just a straight tie to the fly. In this case, I'm just looking for a free drift down. Some of these flies are tied on with a little loop to provide jigging action and motion when you're stripping it. But for right now, I'm just trying to get a nice steady sink down of the fly. So a direct tie works well. That last fish was caught on an epoxy fly, just like this baby man, and it does such a great job. Hey, you, get in the game. Catch me one, would you? Get it. Yeah. Wow, these fish are hot. Oh, man. These fish are frenzying on the surface for the chum that we're tossing out, and I was just casting and letting the fly sink equal with the chum, and the fish swam right over and just picked it up with the rest of the bait. Another nice sized bonita. What I was doing was plopping the fly down, plopping the fly down. By plopping the fly down, the sound of it brought one up to check it out, and he nailed it as soon as it stayed. applying pressure both on the side of the reel, palming action to slow the fish down, and also a little bit with my hand holding onto the fly line. Combining these two with the drag on the reel, I can just come close to the breaking strength of the leader, in this case 15-pound test. So I'm really putting a lot of pressure on these guys. Once we are getting close to landing them, I'll back away from the deck, back away from the transom there, and give him an easier shot at reaching for the leader and landing the fish. I'm finally getting this fish in. It's just finally getting tired out. I think I'm more tired than the fish. We'll get him one more time. Oh man, the long arm of the law. Wow, Parker, nice job. Woo! I'm exhausted, and that fish is like 10, 12 pounds. Imagine a hook and a bluefin, and guys are doing this now. Actually, larger game fish, larger tuna are caught. Bluefins over 60 pounds have been caught. I'm not even sure I want to try it. Wow, so strong. We're pulling up behind a different shrimp boat, and we're just trying to find one with different species, maybe a cobia. So we're throwing out a mixture of bait fish, menhaden, and then also chunks of chopped up fish. I'm not sure even what kind, but it's all just in an effort to get fish pulled up from deeper water right now. Coming around the side of the shrimper here. I think a bonita hit it. I'm not real sure yet, but awful powerful fish. He's swimming at me right now, and so I'm winding as fast as I can just to keep up. There he goes. Nice bonita. There we go. Oh, I need to start hitting the gym a little more often, I'm afraid, if I want to mess with these guys. I'm not trying to lift too hard with the left hand on the top of the rod. I'm just steering the fish towards Parker, and he does it again for me. Beautiful coloration on the back there. All those markings. These fish look fast just sitting there, don't they? All right. All this fabulous fishing that we've been getting in on has all been done within sight of land. We've come out about 5 miles offshore, looked for a few buoy structures, birds diving on bait, We've been having a blast catching a mixed bag. You don't know really what you're going to find, but we had a good time catching bonita and dolphin today. A couple of blue runners in there. We've seen cobia. There's other fish out here. Who knows? It's a lot of fun. It's a different aspect to the game of saltwater fly fishing.